thinking about and what they are making of the markets. Well, we have with us Ajit Mishra of Religare Broking, who's joining us on the show. Ajit, good morning. Thank you so much for joining in. How are you looking at trade on the Nifty, and what's the way forward here?
Yeah, good morning, Agam. So, Agam, we have been seeing that markets have recovered, gradually in the recent, days after retesting this support at 21,800. And we have reclaimed the short-term averages also. And now, with every passing day, we are seeing that traditional buying among the index majors helping the index to maintain the positive tone. But as you have rightly mentioned at the beginning of the show, that it's been a normal, phenomena these days that within the index majors we are seeing mixed trend, which is capping the upside also. So the momentum is missing, but the tone is positive, and it will remain so until we break 22,300 in the index. Upside, gradually we can inch towards the record highs. The challenging area which I am seeing right now is the underperformance of the banking. Today being the expiry day also for the banking index, we feel that 48,000 continues to act as a strong hurdle. So in a market like this, wherein we have challenges of the alignment between the Nifty and the banking index, stock specific is something that one should position themselves and look for the sectors or themes which are doing well. So metal, realty, auto, FMCG, IT, these are the sectors basically that one should look at.
Let's talk about the bank Nifty as well. Ajit, what are you making of it, and how would you trade it? Because that clearly is the weaker of the two benchmarks out here.
Certainly. So this 48,000, which we tried in the initial hour to break, but we couldn't sustain. And if we slip below, let's say 47,600, so that might in fact trigger fresh dip towards 47,200 or 47,000 mark. So for any fresh position, I would rather suggest to wait and let's see whether we manage to hold this 47,600 levels or not in the banking index. And that's the reason why we are recommending to avoid any fresh position in the Nifty as well, though it's trading comparatively better.
Okay, well, that's as far as your benchmarks are concerned. Maybe if we can actually take a look at what's going on coming down to stocks and how things are faring there in terms of change in open interest, all the stock features which are looking at a substantial increase or a decrease in futures and options space. We will talk about the futures, the list of futures which are actually seeing an increase in a while. Let's pull that up and see where there is in fact a lot more traction there. Overall, of course, we need to remember that it's largely Hindustan Copper which continues to climb. Actually, it's flat right now, but it's marginally in the green. I reckon that's the reason why we are seeing that longs coming through, because we have seen another 33% increase in open interest. Now, Apollotas is the other one. This is also up around 1%, and about a 25% increase there as well in terms of its open interest. Balkrishna Industries, of course, continuing to show strength, as is the case for Metropolis. Page Industries is marginally in the red. Wouldn't necessarily call that as a fresh short right now. And in terms of stocks which are seeing unwinding, let's pull that list up as well. And we have short covering for PI Industries and Hindustan Aeronautics. On the other hand, IEX, ABB and Dr. Lal Path Labs looking at a decline in open interest. On that note, Ajit, stocks on your radar at the moment in terms of longs or shorts?
Yeah, so considering that the volatile things that we are seeing since morning, I feel that defensives are the one which one should focus on if the view is, for a day or two. So ITC is one name wherein we are seeing fresh traction after the base formation around the major leverages after the recent dip. And we are eyeing 452 as an immediate target, which stop at 434. Another name from the defensive basket from the pharma pack, Lipin, wherein we are seeing attempt of consolidation range breakout after almost 1.5 months of consolidation. 1770 is what we are eyeing in Lipin as a immediate target, with stop at 1650.
Okay. That's G specs, and of course we'll continue to talk about a handful of other counters as well. I'm going to take a look at some of those more active futures and options counters and see what we can make of it. because well, we do have some gains in Bharat Electronics. I believe that we have the conference call which is ongoing right now, and when it comes to Bharat Electronics, it's made a new life high yesterday. On an intraday basis, I've made a new life high today as well, in fact, but it is still, it's at its current market price is lower than yesterday's high. That said, where it's sustaining about that mark of around 281, and there's already been plenty of traction when it comes to volumes for this particular counter today in the cash markets. Can we pull up what's happening in the future space and see whether or not there is in fact an addition in open interest there as well? About 1.6% increase in OI there as well towards what potentially could be for more longs. Ajit, a new range for Bharat Electronics. What's the way forward here? Levels to watch? What trade would you take out here, or would you avoid one?
After this sharp move from 220 to 280, I feel that it's time now for the stock to take a breather or consolidate in a range. So fresh buying is the risk reward is not favorable. Though the stock is already at the record highs and this momentum might continue, but considering that swing that we have already seen, I feel that one should accumulate, not to go long at one go. So accumulate in the range of 270 to 280 zone, which is the current area, and then maintain a stop at 260, which is the gap that we had on the daily chart, of late. So that should act as a support. And upside, again, since the record highs are there, 310, 320 could be the probable targets.
All right. Yeah. All right. So there you have it. I believe we also have rupees. Of course, it's not too far away from there. Well, since the day of its earnings back on 7th May, it's been moving within a range. And should we? The question really is that can we expect strength, because that was a big move, and today we're looking at another 2.3, 2.4% advance for HUL, and it's not every day that HUL does such a large move. Ajit, any opinion on Hindustan Unilever at the moment?
So yes, as you mentioned that the defensive should be in the focus area. So we have recommended ITC accordingly, and we feel that HUL is also witnessing sharp recovery now after this days of pause. For the strong swing from 20-40 to 23.80, and I feel, but yes, there's still a hurdle around 24.20. Which is a long-term, resistance zone as per the moving averages. So that could be the area where it might take a breather. So for any fresh position, I feel 23.40 should be a strict stop, and closer to 24.20, you should book profit from the trading point of view. Once we sustain above that mark, then there's a possibility that we might see a reversal also in HUL, and it also joins the rally which we are seeing in the other FMCG units.
Okay. Well, it's a mixed day of trade for the banks. If we can pull out the constituents of the Bank Nifty and see where there is traction, it'll be an interesting one to keep an eye on. Both our experts, Ajit and Sneha, for joining us and taking us through their views on the market. So we slip into a short break, and on the other side, we speak to the management of Greenply on the quarter gone by. Stay tuned in.
Powered by